Welcome back to TEW 2016, the branding solution, and we are here on SmackDown Live as we continue to see the fallout from Sasha Banks being the first woman eliminated from the full roster Queen of the Ring. But to start with, we got some pre-show action where we have 3 members of Natalia's Young Lions picking up a victory with somebody getting injured, the NXT talent getting injured. I don't know what that is, so we'll read about that. We then give Iowa a victory. We're just giving talent wins here, so they put on good matches on the main card. We then have Gail Kim's side of it picking up a victory. Kaylee Ray Makoto and Tapa. We have the Jackson member who is absolutely pants on this game, so hopefully that won't affect us too much. And then we give Velez a victory, and we needed that really. Happy with that. These aren't anything fancy. Technically Flawless picked up a win over Casey Owens and Nixon Newell, newest NXT signing, keeping them looking good. And we have a nice big match between Ashley Lane, Cameron, Rosa Mendes, Eva Marie and Kimberly picking up a victory. When we actually gave, who did we make pick the pin? Cameron got the pin. As I say, we're just trying to make everybody feel quite good before their Queen of the Ring matches. Obviously all of these are going to be in the Queen of the Ring and haven't had a match yet. We have a host of improvements. Most shockingly is Rosa Mendes. But Cameron and Eva Marie are important. Vivian is quite over. And Amy Lee Kramer is a potential future call-up. But a lot of work to be done on all of them. And then we give Naomi a victory over Barbie Hayden. She doesn't click with very many people, Barbie, so I'm not. That is mainly why she's staying in NXT. And we give Mandy Leon, Joyce O'Brien, and Alexa Nicole a victory. Now I went a bit mad with my call-ups from NXT, so I just threw everybody in tag matches. I'm not too worried. I'm happy enough. We now start the show where Sasha Banks comes out and demands that she gets another entry into the Queen of the Ring tournament. How can it be your champion is not just guaranteed a place in the final? And that Bailey, she was lucky that Becky kept interfered. So we're doing sort of the whiny heel routine here. Sasha is not happy with where this went. And then Becky comes out and just starts laughing, as does Paige, as they both say, "Be one of us is going to take that title from you for good." And Bailey gets dragged out into the mix and says, "Well, me and Bailey are going to team up." That's Becky. So you better find yourself a partner, Sasha, for the main event tonight. Paige is facing Nikki in the Queen of the Ring because my randomizer gave me all the good matches early on. That's a great start to the show. And we continue with some good work here, where Alexa Bliss picked up the victory in the triple threat match. She didn't pin Asuka, which is the big thing. We went with this because let's just put the shocker out there. Both the singles competitor champions are not going to be winning Queen of the Ring. I recently discovered that Asuka is apparently the most over woman in America on my game at the moment. And I think that's probably thanks to a big rivalry I had with Charlotte for the last few months. So I feel she doesn't need Queen of the Ring. Alexa Bliss could use it. There's so many contenders in all honesty. But she could well be one of the real contenders. And it gives Kushi a hell of a match to be involved in. Because an 83, someone who has a performance of 43 is brilliant. And she will get the negatives, I would imagine. Yeah, anything is her being inconsistent. Even Alexa got good. So, yeah, I'm happy with this. And we move on to this. Alexa Bliss grabs the mic. And she says, "Well, Asuka, you ain't going to be Queen of the Ring. How about I challenge you for that Intercontinental title? And you won't have that either, because I am better than you will ever be. So we're kind of having her being the cocky, arrogant heel like she is, challenging Asuka to an Intercontinental match at Extreme Rules. We then, because I wanted to get a lot of the Queen of the Ring matches in, we then did Candice LeRae and Peyton Royce versus Cheryl Evans and Christina Von Eerie. Now we got Candice LeRae to submit Cheryl Evans to keep Christina fresh. It's a good match, and we keep both storylines going, as it will be Heartbreak Express versus Bad and Beautiful, Forgotten Generation versus New Midnights. I didn't want to just ram that down the throat some more. Charlotte then cuts a promo. Charlotte and Ember Moon then cut a promo on each other and saying, I watched you rise, Ember, but it's about time I put you back down in your place. At Extreme Rules, I will do that. But first, you're going to have to watch me become Queen of the Rings, hottest property. And Ember Moon sort of just watches and goes, sure, we'll see what you can do, Charlotte. We'll see. And keeps it a bit mysterious. It just sort of doesn't say much. But it says that, warns her that at Extreme Rules, don't doubt me, because I will shock you. So then we give Charlotte a victory over Katrina Lee. That is the other reason for that tag match. I wanted to do the Charlotte match. Yeah, it's another solid match, really. I need to try and get Charlotte a little bit more over again. She's gone way down for what I would like her to be. But yeah, Charlotte advances. Edge then calls in Levy Bates and Naomi and says that they did a great job last week winning that tag team match and earning Levy Bates a chance to face Carmella one more time. That's why we have Carmella here. And then he sort of says, well, you worked really well last week, but next week you're going to have to face each other in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and we're going to see who can advance. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do a lot of the Queen of the Ring things like this, where Edge just announces the opponent. I'm probably not going to show the bracket until quite late on, because there's a few surprises, but then there's a few really, what you call, almost boring sounding matches, where it's just going to be people coming through, getting a match or two where you'll find a few people have a lot easier cards or runs to potential finals. As I said, we have Sasha and Bailey in the first round. We have Paige and Nikki in the first round. We even have Oscar and Alexa Bliss. And on paper, they could have easily all been final 8, along with a couple of other people. So there are going to be a few shocks. It's as simple as that. Yeah, so that's going to happen next week. Levy Bates versus Naomi. And another one of these matches, Aaliyah defeats Demi Bennett. Yeah, Aaliyah is a lot more over than Demi. Demi's just trying to get some rub from this whole Natalia storyline. She's probably got a year to get herself to about 50, or I'm probably going to start releasing people. That might well be my new rule, where if they're not getting close to the 50 rating, they're gone. And we sort of go backstage where Gail Kim comes, or not backstage, we go to the ring. Gail Kim comes out, congratulating Aaliyah, saying, Natty, it looks like I seem to be picking the better talent, which brings Natty out to defend Demi Bennett. And it's like, well, you got one through, well done. Didn't one of yours lose earlier tonight? And remember, the 5-on-5, my team will be the winners. The reality is, Gail Kim kind of does have the better team. They have the more established names. And I handpicked 6, I believe it was, NXT talent that I wanted to give a push to. We got Demi, Nana, Ludaka, Erin Knight, and Tess. It was going to be Takashi as well, but she's a heel, so she's on Gail's team. and all of them weren't really more than a 30, but they're all coming along nicely, so I'm quite happy with this. Aaliyah's only in this because Galkim took her on as a protege a couple months ago, about 6 months ago. I wanted to put them together as like a mentor one, and this has given that opportunity to me. Another one of these just dominating performance by Nikki Cross against a local talent. Yet we're continuing just to push Nikki Cross. She doesn't have negative crowd reaction, which is good. She was just there to dominate, and she did. I know these ratings are going to be poor, but she's going to come along nicely. Edge then books Evie versus Summer Rae for Extreme Rules. We've got Summer Rae attacked Evie for no reason. So we had the interview last week that Evie wants to have a chance, and Ed just kind of agreed and said that he can face her at Extreme Rules. That has been placed in. And then we gave Paige the victory over Nikki Bella. 77 is a really good match. I'm quite happy with that. There is a reason for that as well. It's not just because Paige is slightly more over. I have plans for Nikki post this. She comes out, she's screaming that she lost. She demands, a bit like Sasha, for another chance. She just, a bit of a heel sort of promo where she just says that she's going to change everything. There'll be a new Nikki coming sooner or later. Because I wanted to just put the Evie match to go through, I wanted Evie to get through. A bit disappointed that she got against Ludaka, because I would have liked Ludaka to be a dark horse in the Queen of the Ring. But I need Evie to be more of a dark horse than Ludaka, which disappoints. But I don't want Summer or Emma getting involved in the match, and I feel we need her to advance one more round. But then Summer and Emma attack Evie after the match, and they both just shout, saying, "You've come from nowhere and you think you're ready to handle it with us. With Extreme Rules, we'll send you back to," I want to say she's from New Zealand or Australia. I can't remember which one, but we'll send you back, sort of warning. And in our main event, again, we have 1 week link already. Sasha and Nia Jax defeat Bayley and Becky Lynch when Banks makes Bayley submit. Didn't want Becky to submit in this. It sort of sends a warning that Nia's taken out Bayley and she just had to give up or risk her career. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. As you can see, Bayley and Sasha are my top two. Becky really needs a little boost, but a quality match for Sasha will do that, so I'm happy with that. And afterwards, Nia Jax has got to be held back from Bayley before things just get dangerous for Bayley. So we are trying to push Nia up a little bit more. So we end the show with an 80. So a match really good for a SmackDown. The match of the night was actually the first match, which is surprising. But we put on some really good matches, mixed up the talent a bit. I know I probably used all of my best talent, because we did have Sasha, Bayley, Becky, we had Nikki and Paige, we had Charlotte, and Asuka and Alexa Bliss. So we used pretty much all of our top guns in this match, which I'm trying not to do as often. But for this tournament, it made sense. So we're going to head back to the main screen and see if there's any more news. And we have made it back to the main screen, so let's check some news. Let's check this injury. Let's see how long of injury it's meant to be. Just working through it. Okay. That's probably not good, but it won't tell me. As they're in the NXT, I won't know. We ignore worrying about pay rises. We have so much money. We have money to spare. We have 3 new contracts to look at. Okay. I will probably do them off camera because they'll take a while just to get the basics I want done. And we are going to look at the SmackDown storyline. So this is going along really well. The Charlotte rebranding is good. Ember should be a nice little kick off that. This will always be the highest. You can't see Nikki's return because I don't want you to see who's in it. Solid, solid, solid. Probably scene stealing still, and what you expect. And the creative meetings, we can see that Bates and Jax are now on there. We currently have our champ on that too. It's good to see. And Mendes, I think I've got someone else off there, but I can't remember who. So that will finish this episode. We'll be back with Shockwave next time, so thank you all for watching.